The day goes on, and soon is almost my break. I go to the front to see if the messenger has returned yet. Oh, Princess, there's a letter here for you. It's a death threat. No, I did not expect a response. I open it up and stare at the letter for a long time. Well, writing love letters to a secret lover, Princess. Yes, I'm cheating on you, just like your other fiancé. Haha, no. Rumpel appears behind me, his smile unusually small. He looks almost hesitant to be standing there. Well, it's not important. I stuff the letter in my pocket and continue working. For the rest of the day, I ignore Rumpel. I do not want him asking about this letter, just in case things do not go according to plan. He's obviously disheartened by my ignoring him, and his sadness only persists in me, making me feel guilty. Oh, this is something he cannot know about. Otherwise, he will try to stop me, or this is not something he can know about. Almost everyone has gone to their rooms, including a very saddened Rumpel. The only people remaining are Anissa and myself. Earlier, Waltz came in insisting that he speak to Delora and Parfait, and so the three of them are all off talking in the other room. Curiosity gets the better of me, and soon I find myself sweeping closer to the door. I edge it open quietly with my foot so that I can see what is happening inside. I didn't think he was still alive. This is very troubling. He must have used a glamour. But the fact that I didn't realize it was him, Is that the princess I saw peeping through the door? Yeah. I try to hide, but all of the eyes in the room catch me before I can do so. Do you eavesdrop on people often, Lucette? I have no reason to eavesdrop on them besides my own curiosity. Well, it's no harm done, Delora. Lucette, are you almost done with your chores? Ever since that conversation with Parfait and Delora, I have noticed that the words Parfait and I speak to each other are strained. Laura, however, is unchanged. I expect sarcasm from her now, but she does not deliver. She simply stands still and looks at me somberly. I am. What are you all talking about? Hiding more things from me? We're talking about the rumors that have been going around about the palace. What have you heard? I have a right to know what's happening at the palace. We would tell you if we knew for certain, Princess. Walt sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. I know the timing doesn't seem right, but I really should show myself out. I have a show early morning tonight, or tomorrow rather. He glances around at all of us. I'm going to excuse myself for the night. Good night, everyone. As he passes by me, he smiles. And to you, Princess. Once again, everyone's being secretive. Why the sour face, Princess? Are you worried about what happens to the people in the palace you care nothing for? Laura? Okay, that was uncalled for. But really though, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. And since you're here now, I might as well say it. I knew you for 1 year before I cursed you. I saw what your mother had done to you. I knew I needed to undo the damage before your birthday. Why is she talking about this now? I called you cruel and wicked when I really knew that the way you were was caused by the way your mother brought you up. And when we talked about Hideo the other day, I was unfair at what I said to you. We all have to face reality, but... Laura pauses, looking surprisingly solemn. She sighs and then continues. I always knew you had some good in you. I saw it in you when you spoke to your dolls. You have a good heart. Many people enjoy flattery, Princess. They are receptive to flirting, but nothing can measure up to a genuine compliment. Flashback. Laura just compliment me. Compliment me? Nani? I guess. I mean... Again, usually when Rumpel does something, we kind of do the opposite. But it's Laura this time, so maybe we should say thank you? I don't know. Yeah? Out of all the people, I did not expect Laura to compliment me. Not when she makes a point of always telling me the blunt truth. Thank you. There's no shock on Parfait and Delora's faces when they smile at me. I'm beginning to think you and Delora are alike. You're both stubborn and have good in you, but you hide it behind sarcasm. Hey, Lucette and I are nothing alike. I feel lighter somehow. I do not know if I've forgiven Dolores just yet. Her cursing me has led me to see many things I would have not seen before. I owe her nothing, but I'm still unhappy. Even the truth hurts. Oh, what's this? My lovely little princess is in here with you too? Oh, Rumpel, you're early tonight. Surprised to see me, beautiful. Rumpel's earlier anxiety is gone. He looks at me with unbridled enthusiasm. I heard the princesses thank you from a distance. The words are always most beautiful when leaving her mouth. So you were also eavesdropping. You two are very alike. Not at all. Rumpel leans towards me and smiles. My dream is to one day hear those words from you too, because you say them as gentle as the wind. If you're here to talk to Parfait about medicine, then I'm out. You said you should leave too. Well then, sleep well, beautiful maidens. I quickly finish my chores and return to my room, where I lay in my bed contemplating tomorrow. I cannot believe Bria wrote back to me. Tomorrow I will meet with her, and hopefully she will agree to give me his journals. I hope this works. For Rumpel's sake. I need to drink some water. What does that say? Tabler? Tabler? Oh. Fancy font I can't read. Today I'm outside by myself. I think if Parfait and Dolores knew, they would do worse than scold me. I shuffle uncomfortably as I sit at a Love Cafe Bria told me to wait for her at. Part of me is already convinced that she will not come. When I wrote her that letter asking for Rumpel's journal, she responded so easily. I was also suspicious, but this is really the only chance I have. The only chance you have at what? Bria appears in front of me, not looking altogether unpleased, but still not smiling. Nothing. I do not like her. I will have to play nice if I want to get Rumpel's journals back. Well, thank you for meeting me out here. Bria takes a seat in front of me, her expression still flat. You asked me in your letter why I was refusing to speak to Rumpel, and then you told me you wanted to meet with me to find out why. Oh, yeah, I guess we are meeting. You know, because why can't we just like go to her house, just knock on the door? But I guess not. I guess we have to, you know, have like a proper meeting, I guess. You want the journals too, don't you? He reaches into a bag and pulls out a few journals that I assume are Rumpel's. Okay. Like a bag? Like a shopping bag kind of thing? She does have them. I know in your eyes, I must seem the villain, but I'm not the only one that followed this relationship. Years ago, when I met Rumpel, he was as he is now. Flirtatious, charming, over the top, and yet his compliments still made my heart soar. His compliments may be shallow, but Rumpel is far from it. I pined after them for years. He was learning medicine, I was studying to take over my mother's sewing shop. Oh, sewing again. Rumpelstiltskin again, the woman that turned string into gold, but actually not really. It was like relying on some kind of imp called Rumpelstiltskin or whatever. In the first years that I knew him, Rumpel always complimented my work. Even though it was nothing special, he insisted we do trade-offs. When we started dating, he would offer me flowers and trinkets. In exchange, I would sew him some article of clothing. Yeah, exactly why. Actually, exactly like Rumpelstiltskin, I guess. Obviously in a different context. I could still see he's wearing the scarf that I made him. And that scarf was from Bria. We fell in love. Rumpel became a changed man, more serious. He became a doctor, and I opened up a shop. We were supposed to have a fairy tale ending, but her expression falls again as she looks absently down the table. We saw in each other's ideals that didn't exist. Love can be shallow or it can be deep. I felt our love was deep, but in truth, I only ever knew the very surface of Rumpel. The surface? I saw his kindness, his charm, and his drive to do what is right. But then, as time went on, I also saw what that meant. The The world is a place where only the strong survive. The weak must, obey the strong. I don't know why. Why does every villain say that? Every villain says that. Anyway. Only the strong survive. People are kind, but they will take advantage of those who are too caring. Those sound like Mother's words. I shudder as I think about Mother's pessimism, the same kind that lies in me. It is a realistic way of looking at the world, but it is also so dismal and cloudy that it's impossible to see any light within it. Rumpel helped a lot of people. Many of them were wonderful people, and I was always happy to see him do so much. But then, he started putting other people above himself, and because we lived together, that meant me as well. He became a Segi no Mikata. He really is Emiyashiro. He became Emiyashiro, amazing. I am the bone of my sword. He turns tan, he slicks back his hair and bleaches it and everything. No. Maybe it sounds petty to you, but no woman wants to live in poverty. I look at her skeptically. In the back of my mind, I remember the convenience of luxury, of so much money, and then I recall the feeling of living poor in the streets and flinch. We had a house and we had a reputation. Rumpel refused money most of the time. We helped lots of poor people, but he also dried out our wallets. Whenever I brought it up to him, he would smile, as if that could just get rid of all our problems. He made a name for himself as a doctor who helped the poor for minimal money, sometimes for free. And even when I told him we needed more money, he put other people first. He was so selfless that he became selfish. Yeah. Actually, yeah, literally like Emiyashiro. He's just doing it not because it feels good, but he's just doing it because that's what drives him as a person. But if you go that far, you'll end up distancing the people who are close to you and everything, right? And I told him before that he should have accepted the money and that he needed it. So selfless, he became selfish. I had to go behind his back and find payment. What I was making wasn't enough. So I went to find his patients and tried to ask for payment. I became almost like a beggar. Can you imagine my humiliation? Rumpel put his patients before Rhea. I was convinced he didn't love me, and my love dwindled for him. Our relationship became strained. Rhea goes on to explain the events that happened between her and the nobleman. He was one of Rumpel's patients, and when she went to him to ask for the money he originally offered, the two of them became intimate. It was short-lived, and when the nobleman left her behind, Rhea had to deal with a sour reputation. I wanted to make it up to Rumpel. I thought I could salvage this relationship, maybe even start over and teach him what was right, but that is not my place. He sighs deeply and then gestures at me. I share blame in all this too, but so does Rumpel. That's why I've decided to let this all go. Whatever he does now, you'll have to deal with because you're his partner, right? Rhea hands me the bag of journals. Don't look so surprised. Came here for these, not to listen to me. I thought on it last night, and I have no reason to keep them around when they'll just continue making me bitter. I have to rely on myself for a while, but that's fine. Sometimes it's easier to keep to yourself than to trust others. He moves to stand up, but I surprise myself while reaching out to grab her hand. Rhea, I don't need your pity. I thought the same thing. What? I still think the same thing. It's so much easier to close the world off. It's so much easier to trust no one but yourself, but it should also be a balance. That's what Rumpel has taught me. I want to teach him how to have balance in the Force too. He'll be the chosen one. You're falling for the kindness the same way I did. You fell in love with him, even though you told yourself he was shallow and unrealistic. How about we have a Yuri ending instead? How about we get together? How old are you, Bria, anyway? My heart thumps once, loudly in my chest. Love. I can read it right off your face. I know how it feels too, but don't get wrapped up in his ideals, little girl. That's my warning. That's hell you're walking into. Drown in your ideals and die. This became Face Day Night, I don't know. If you can help him, actually help him. Then you're meant to be together. But otherwise, trusting Rumpel might only break your heart. I'm not a little girl. I know how to be realistic. My words trail off as I look at her helplessly. Rhea surprises me by speaking up quietly. Thank you for listening to me. She pulls her hand away and slowly smiles at me. It's the first honest smile I've seen on her face. I feel something warm in my chest, and a bright light emanates from my necklace. Oh, it was a good deed? Just listening to her, we got a good deed apparently. I don't know, I guess we helped her move on, I guess, you know. A good deed? But listening to Bria, or... I glanced down the bag of journals, then down my necklace. It could also be like, you know, just helping Rumpel as well, you know, getting the journals in the first place. I touched the pendant, and the new piece brings a brief smile to my lips. I have 2 good deeds now. Only one more I can break my curse. Magic? Is this another fairytale curse? Yes. Your name was Lucette, wasn't it? Rumpel talked about you fondly. I hope that the both of you can break your curses. Good luck. Bria walks away, leaving me by myself in the town square. My mind swirls with everything that she just told me. I still cannot bring myself to like Bria, but I feel more closure now. But now something new plagues my mind. How could I fall in love with someone like Rumpel? He sucks, you know, he's just not a good choice, at least initially. I don't know, I guess he's more interesting now. Again, yeah, we learn more about him, a little bit more interesting character, now that we know more about his, like, past and everything. The more I say it, the more it becomes a certainty, but rather than fill me with joy, it only makes me more confused. I cannot think about this now. I turn my heels to head back, and bump promptly into a man, and then he kidnaps me. No, it's Varg. Hey, Varg. Oh, sorry, madam. He smiles at me, then keeps walking. I stare after him, feeling slightly uncomfortable. With the mask and cloak, the man reminded me of a performer. Waltz? I don't think so. I don't think it's a waltz. As far as I know, I don't know. I make my way back to the marshal with a bag of journals, still struggling to keep my mind from wandering. Yeah, because I mean, he's kind of like Waltz. He's like, you know, tan skin, dark hair. Maybe he's like adult Waltz. I don't know. But then again, Varg is kind of like a villain, though. I don't know. Well, maybe not like a direct villain, but still, he helps out the villains. I don't know. Anyway, every time I think about Rumpel being so close to me, or his kindness toward me, I feel jittery inside. Have we seen, you know, Waltz and Varg in the same room? I don't know. Anyway, despite everything that Bria said, I cannot stop these feelings. These feelings are annoying. Yet even as I think that, I know it's not the full truth. Do I really... I hear the Martian's door opening, and out steps Waltz. Oh, okay. I mean, here's Waltz, so I mean, I don't know. It's not the same place, but... it's kind of impossible, unless I guess he's using magic. I guess his magic is possible, but otherwise... like, why would Waltz be here when Varg is somewhere else? We just met Varg, I don't know. The minute he sees me, his eyes widen and he runs toward me. Princess, where were you? I was running an errand. I hold up the bag, but it does little to ease Waltz's frustration. I guess his hair is not that dark, I guess. It's a little brown, you know, brown highlights anyway, dark brown. We were all looking for you, and we got worried that the witches have found you. Rumpel already went out into town. What? I'll go. Please, Princess, stay inside. His expression softened somewhat, until all I can see on his face is worry. I'll go get Rumpel. Okay, I'll do that. My mood feels completely dashed as I enter the Martian to whispers both relieved and disappointed. Surprisingly, I get away with just a lecture from Delore and Parfait. Her 2 moms, basically. Yeah, basically, I mean, I feel like Parfait and Delore, they're just our moms now. I don't know. It seems as if there's something else on their mind, something that most likely involves the rumors circulating around town. I wait downstairs for a long time for Rumpel. Neither him nor Waltz appear. Where are they? I guess they're dead, oh no. I retire to my room later as I wait for news. Waltz eventually returns, saying that Rumpel is still out because he had things he wanted to do. I have no idea what that means, but it unsettles me. Can I go find him? Maybe? I mean, we'll probably be, like, stopped, but can we just sneak out? I stand and stop for a few moments to look at the bag of journals beside my bed. And here I was looking forward to giving those journals to him. I make my way toward the door and turn the knob and walk outside. Princess! Before I can even think about saying anything, I feel his warmth envelop me and I freeze. One of his hands moves to the small of my back, but remains as he smiles down at me. Oh, I caught you just in time, my feisty sweet. Did you plan on escaping into the dead of the night again? Have words abandoned you in the wake of my dramatic appearance? I hurriedly pry myself away with a little gasp. A few steps back and see him in full, and I notice the bouquet. Bouquet? How you say it? Bouquet? Bucket? I don't know why I can't say that right. Bouquet, right? Bouquet, right? Is it bouquet? I don't know. Bouquet he carries. I'm glad to see you back, Princess. I'm only sorry that I couldn't make it back here any faster. I had a few errands of my own to run in town. Rumpel holds out the bouquet with a glittering smile. Like buying these flowers with a girl that I really like, for instance. I stare down at the beautiful bouquet I made up of white lilies, but the appearance slowly leaves my mind as I think of what Rumpel just said. He bought them for a girl he likes. Oh, not for me. Alright, see ya. See ya. Goodbye, Rumpel. My heart feels as if they might be pierced through with something sharp. My breath escapes from my throat. I cannot bring myself to inhale again. Rumpel looks at me in alarm. Oh, Lucette. I nudge him out of the way and walk past him. I make my way to a reception area, where I collapse onto one of the couches and sit, staring blankly at the walls. The feelings inside me are too much all at once. We just like sit in this. I guess we sit, because I was imagining Lucette was just like she just like dive bombed the couch and is like just like crying into a pillow or something. She looks like, I don't know, maybe not dramatic. No, maybe not that dramatic. I tell myself they do not make any sense, that the way I reacted to what Rumpel said was pitiful. Yet I still cannot stop myself from feeling small. I sink into the couch and close my eyes, willing away the sound of my rapidly beating heart and the tears stinging the edge of my eyes. Oh, she still cries though. Wee. I'm not weak. I will not cry. Mother told me. The thought of mother makes my tears worse, and soon I'm sinking even further in the couch. I literally go into the couch. I get consumed into the couch, trying to hide my tear-stained face in my hands. Mother, Bria, they both said the same things. They both see the bad in people, and I too have seen the bad in them. When I was on the streets, no one in Anjou showed me kindness. People will never show you kindness unless there's something in it for them. They will never. I feel sudden warmth as arms wrap around me. I recognize the sensation, the warmth, the comfort. It's all so comforting, so soothing. Oh, I must be the worst person in the world to make such a beautiful lady cry as a sin I must atone for. My body stiffens, but I do not pull away. I listen to the sound of his heartbeat against my ear, and slowly but surely, my crying dies away. My eyes are sore by the time I finally manage to still the tears. I feel drowsiness descend upon me like a blanket, but will not fall asleep. Slowly I pry myself from the arms holding me. Oh, hello, my love. I messed up again, didn't I? I do not see the bouquet in his hands, but a journal. One of the journals I brought back for him from Bria. Oh, you're capable of a lot more good than I am, princess. Just look at this. He reaches out and touches my necklace, and I glance down at it. You got my journals back for me. I saw them in your room. And I feel it. This one, the most recently dated one, is the one that I need to unlock my final memory. I grasp the second incomplete glass slipper around my neck and breathe out softly. Then this really is from retrieving Rumpel's journals for him. I got a good deed for finally doing something good for Rumpel. Would you allow me to read it with you? He reaches out and gently brushes a tear from my face. You did all this for me, and you barely know anything about me. That makes both of us. Both of us. If you wouldn't mind, I want to read out this entry for you. I nod, even though I should be shaking my head. Even though I should still be hurt, I cannot stay mad at Rumpel. Rumpel? No, Rumpel. Okay. On this night, I am a poor man. Everything that's precious to me has been stolen away by the witch. Rumpel's voice catches in the throat as he stares at the words. I look over his shoulder at the journal. Witch, was he already cursed when he wrote this? But I have no one to blame but myself. Bria told me before that I would suffer for my selflessness, and so now I find myself here. And now, because of that same selflessness, Bria is sick, and I cannot save her. There's only one thing left to do. I've wronged Bria in so many ways, and now I will give everything it takes to save her. No matter what price the witch asks, I will pay it. I only hope that Bria can forgive me before she leaves. I will write again when the witch has left. I swore that after the day I will change for good. I will not ask the witch to perform any more miracles. Rumpel's finger goes to the page, where he softly touches a single word. His eyes have that glazed look in them that they have before. I can tell his memories are snapping back together. For tonight, good night, and may tomorrow be a better morning. I read the last word, a name and a signature. Rumpel reads it aloud slowly. Chevalier Dumont. Your name is Chevalier? Chevalier? Is that? It means knight, right? Or noble? Usually it's a title, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's a name. I don't know. He looks up at me. His eyes furlong, and then with sadness he speaks. That's right. Okay. But we just know his name. I guess his mystery is solved, but it's not really. I don't think we're near the end yet. So I don't know. It's so strange. It's just a different name, and yet it seems to change him completely. I remember everything now. I was given the Rumpelstiltskin curse because I sacrificed too much. First it was the boy, the one we saw in the market. I struck a deal with a woman to save him. A witch. He mentioned striking a deal with a woman, but a witch? I don't have the ability to heal, none of us do, except one particular witch who causes up the witch doctor. Witch doctor? Who will that be? Actually, we know now. It's the witch that cursed him, I guess. The witch doctor? It's no wonder I recognize the name, but yes, it was her. So it's back to Rumpel, though. It was Chevalier, now it's back to Rumpel. She promised she could heal the boy, but for a price. I had to give her a family heirloom, my family's stethoscope. Can you say that? Stethoscope. Stethoscope? Yeah, stethoscope. Next was a nobleman. I could not help him, and so he lay in his bed dying. The witch visited again. I gave her what she asked for. What did you give her? My engagement ring. Bria found out. She told me she'd never forgive me. And then she chased the nobleman, asked for the money we desperately needed, and... well, they totally banged. Anyway, we know the rest. He gave away things that were precious to him, all to help those people. When Bria got sick, I made one last deal with the witch because I was so desperate to save her life. But it wasn't until after she healed Bria that she told me what she wanted. She wanted your memories. I don't remember what happened exactly. I think I panicked because I suddenly lost my memories. I ran out into the alleys, bumping my head onto something, fell unconscious, and then I woke up here in a tavern. I had no idea who I was or how I had gone cursed. Rumpel, or Chevalier's expression grows more somber. I deserved to be cursed after everything I had done. I was so selfish, an idealist maybe, but I hurt Bria because I refused to see reality. I still deserve to be cursed actually. But why? Because I'm still selfish. Even having remembered everything that made me a bad person, I still desire something. Someone I shouldn't have. My heart plummets again as he looks at me. I still want so badly to forge a future with someone I don't deserve, because what am I other than a poor doctor? I'm no knight in shining armor. I'm no prince, ironic, considering his name is Chevalier. Chevalier, right? Chevalier? He puts a hand on my cheek and leans closer to me. The distance between us closes in mere seconds. But still, I keep on dreaming because His fingers gently caress my cheek and suddenly I know. I know what he's gonna say before he even says it. Chapter 8. Are we gonna end this soon? I don't know, because it feels like we're ending this soon, because we're... I don't know. You love me? I love you? You love me? I love you? You love me? Does he love me or does he not? I don't know. That. I do. I love you. But I... Chevalier smiles at me as he puts his other hand on my back and pulls me closer. The smile is so genuine and so gentle, the same smile I've grown to love. Mom, smooch. We're already smooching. Is it? I feel like I don't know. Maybe in the other routes this happened around chapter 8 as well. But like I feel like this is pretty quick. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Whatever words I've been meaning to say die in my throat as he leans forward and gently places his lips on mine. I feel more grounded than I have ever felt before, but also feel like I'm flying. I set my hands over his chest and flex my fingers into his shirt. He runs his fingers gently down my face, then down the length of my neck. The kiss feels too short, and I'm so breathless when Chevalier pulls away from me. Chevalier, right? Chevalier. Just enough so that I can see his eyes. I think it's French, right? Chevalier. I love you, my sweet princess. For your smile, for your laugh, for the way that you look out for other people. You're bold and feisty. You remind me of a firework. What's that song about fireworks? Like na 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 firework or something? I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. There's some kind of song that involves fireworks. You're beautiful inside and out. The compliment warms my heart in a way that makes me feel like it might be melting. He reaches behind me and holds out the bouquet from earlier. These are for you. You like lilies, don't you? How do you know that? I remember he gave us a gift of a chocolate lily or whatever. How did he learn that? I don't know. When did he learn that? I don't know. I take a bouquet from him and bring it to my nose. These have always been my favorite flower. How did you know? Chevalier grins at me, and so similar to his previous smiles, I know he must not have changed. Well, the first time I gave you that white chocolate flower, your eyes lit up. I figured that Chevalier was perceptive before, but the bouquet in my hands feels like all the more meaningful now. Princess, I swear that I want to try and change. For you. And I guess he got lucky? I don't know, maybe he didn't know. I was wondering, maybe did he know Lucette when she was a princess before or something? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he just got lucky. Maybe it was a coincidence that he gave her the white lily chocolate or whatever. Well, you should do it for yourself, too. Myself? You should spoil yourself more, too. You always give to others what you don't take for yourself. Now you know what you did, and you can change things. You know what you did, okay. If Bria can, then so can I. Bria? I went and spoke to her when I was in town today, while I was getting that bouquet as a gift for you. We had a talk about moving on. I didn't understand it fully. I don't think she did either, but we both agreed that we should. I'm gonna change when I can, princess. And I promise I'm going to break you your curse, just as you helped break mine. All the good things I've done are for you. Oh, that's true. But you've done a lot of other good things too, even though they may not be big enough to count for your 3 good deeds. It just so happens that your curse is very picky. Good things, even though I'm so curt and say more hurtful things than not. I fingered the necklace on my neck and thought, maybe Chevalier is right. Maybe I have changed, and it's a good change. I sit close to Chevalier as the night goes on. He tells me a little bit about his past, and I tell him about mine. About Mother in the palace. The night is not one for advice, just listening. And I remember what Chevalier told me once, that listening can be just as meaningful as advice, and listening to others can help you understand them. And he was right. Princess, are you okay? Oh, if it isn't the princess, are those dark circles under your eyes or a romantic night out? You were out with someone last night? No, they are from being woken up early by Dolores to do chores. Dolores grins at me from the other side of the bar, but says nothing as she goes back to the conversation with another boarder. I have a feeling Karma did... Actually, yeah, why did Rumpel give, some flowers to Lucette? Probably Karma's idea. Darling, you're no fun at all. You must tell me what happened last night. Last night? Did you like the bouquet? How did you know about the bouquet? Why? Because it was my suggestion. When Chevalier was asking Karma for advice, it was about me. Oh, look the way she smiled, Anise. Last night must have gone well. I'm confused. What happened last night? Well, you see the birds and the bees now. I'm going to get Rumpel to give me all the juicy details when he comes downstairs. That is Chevalier to you? Chevalier appears behind Karma, smiling. He seems a lot calmer today than usual. He glances over Karma at me, and we catch each other in a silent gaze. Seeing his eyes reminds me of last night, which makes me inadvertently flush. Chevalier just winks at me. Chevalier, what is that? What did you say when a person sneezes? No, that's his name. Rumpel, that is, Chevalier, broke his curse yesterday. There's a stunned silence from everyone in the meeting area. Even Delora walks over to them. Yeah, that is a surprise, you know. Again, at least from the last two routes, Rod and Claude, you know, they break their curse at the very end in the dramatic, you know, romantic scene. But he already broke his curse, you know, in chapter 8. Is it already over, or I don't know. What's this about a broken curse? Was it you, Rumpel? He's going by something that sounds like a fancy cake. Her face seems to be bursting with excitement. It says, yeah, ironically, parfait. You know, parfait also sounds like a dessert. Though she is her usual calm self on the outside, I can tell by the bounce in her step and by the way she raises her voice to make an announcement that she is proud. When everyone has learned that Chevalier has broken his curse, people come to the table offering drinks and congratulations. Chevalier gets lost in the crowd, mostly of women. Much to my surprise, Chevalier does not flirt back with any of them. And then, in between our celebrations for Chevalier, the front door to the Martian opens and Waltz rushes inside. Where are Delora and Lady Parfait? I need to speak to them immediately. No, Waltz, you're just in time. We're all... Something has happened at the palace. Oh no. Drama. The room goes quiet and Waltz is proclamation... I don't know why I can't say that. I don't know why, but I want to say proclamation. That's not right. Proclamation. No. Proclama. Why am I stuck in this word? Proclama. Google, how do you pronounce this word? I don't know why I can't say it. I know this word. I said this word before, but sometimes I don't know why, but my brain can't work.
Proclamation.
Proclamation. That's what it is. Proclamation. Proclamation. The room goes quiet at Waltz's proclamation. A few people shift uneasily in their chairs. Some try to go back to conversation. Proclamation. Proclamation of the independence of... I don't know, whatever. Most people do not care about what happens in the palace, but they can tell by the tone of Waltz's voice that it is bad. Very bad. What's happening at the palace? An uprising. What? Nani? Again? The third time? A coup. Staged by the witches. Witches have taken over the palace. Okay, witches this time. I assume Mithros, or... I don't know. The information is so sudden it makes me dizzy. I reach out to grab the table and my hand lands on the wood before I can slip. Witches have taken over the palace? An army of them? No, only a few. Julian strides across the room, followed quickly by Garland. What's this all about witches taking over? We have some of the best knights in the palace. That was Garland, actually. What's this about witches taking over? We have some of the best knights in the palace, or whatever. There's no way witches could break in under the palace's guard. Unless they had someone inside helping them. Who knew? Hellcaster? No, Myth. Who are we talking about? You know him as Mithros. He uses a different name now. Sir Mithros, the king's advisor? He's a witch? There's no way Mithros is a witch. We would have known. Glamour. He used the glamour. Everything Walt says suddenly gets swallowed up in questions. Julian and Garland ask question after question, while others start surrounding Walt asking what has happened to the king and his children. I try to step closer to listen, but cannot hear over the frantic voices in the room. Sir Mythos. I never trusted him, but I never thought he would be a witch. We did learn that in the Rod route. You know, I guess, yeah, considering, like, I guess this time Sir Mythos is just taking the, how you say it? I don't know, taking the thing into his, I don't know, I can't remember, why do I can't remember anything? I can't speak the English language anymore. I guess I have the fairy tale curse where I can't speak English. He's taking matters to his own hand, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, because I remember the Rod route, you know, he betrayed Alcaster, you know, and actually stopped the coup d'etat in order to get close to Lucette and everything, right? So he can control Lucette. And in the Claude route, Alcaster betrayed Mythos before he could do anything, right? So Alcaster was the main villain. But I guess this time, Sir Mythos, or Myth, I guess, is just taking center stage. Yeah, center stage. He's taking center stage and just, you know, he's just doing it. He's just going full ham. He's not hiding anymore. He's not going hiding anymore. He's just gonna take over the kingdom with his witches or whatever, witch friends. The room only quiets down when Delora and Parfait come to punctuate the conversation with their own demands for everyone to give Walt space. The Martian boarders are all taken to the reception room, where Walt stands at attention, waiting to answer questions. He explains that he's looking into a rumor about Sir Mythos from only a few days ago when he found out about the witches' uprising. It was a surprise attack orchestrated by Mythos to let the witches in through a secret entrance at the palace. Alcaster was killed during the uprising, and many knights were injured and are currently being tended to in clinics and hospitals around the town. Okay, so yeah, Alcaster obviously was betrayed and killed. Interesting. They didn't have a chance this time. After his explanation, I feel even worse than I did in the main room. I stare at Walt at a loss. What of Fritz? Fritz? Sir Alcaster's son. Fitzgerald, who is my personal knight. If Sir Alcaster was killed during the uprising, where did that put Fritz? Was he working with Sir Alcaster or with Sir Mythos? Did he escape? I'm sorry, Princess, I haven't heard anything about a knight named Fitzgerald. Was he killed again? The thought makes my heart plummet. No, Fritz could not possibly be dead. I have to believe they're still alive, and totally not dead like every single timeline. Or at least, you know, again, the first one he disappeared, the second one we confirmed that he died, so I don't know, is he gonna die again? I feel Chevalier's hand on my shoulder, briefly before it slides off. Are any of the king's knights remaining in the palace? If they are, then they've either been forced to turn against the king or they've been killed. Is Mythos sitting on the throne? No, he usurped the king, but hasn't taken his throne. Waltz turns to me and his expression softens. Princess, feel free to ask me whatever you want. I'm sorry I didn't answer all your questions earlier. I have so many questions, but I suppose I'll ask them one at a time. Okay, it's the NPC questioning time, where we ask all the questions. Yes, yeah, Chevalier wrote. Chevalier chapter 8. What has happened to the king and the others? I'm not sure. From what I've heard, the king and his family, your family, are still alive. I never cared for any of my step-family, but hearing that they're okay is still a relief. Mythos may be keeping them prisoner for now. What's the glamour that he used? Delora steps in to answer the question. The glamour is a high-level magic used to conceal one's identity. It keeps even other witches from sensing you. Parfait cast the same magic on you shortly after you came to the tavern. It was to protect you from the evil witches. A glamour can only be conjured by the powerful witches. It sounds as if this witch has been using glamour to hide himself from others. Do you know Mythos? It was a long time ago. We both shared the same teacher. Okay, interesting. Teacher? Wait. Waltz, are you a witch? Yeah. He smiles at me, but is weak and does not reach his eyes. Myth was always very competitive. I thought that he died at the end of the Great War, but he's been in the palace this whole time. His disguise is so simple. I should have realized his name was so similar, but yeah, that's what I was saying before when we first revealed that Mythos was Myth. Like, hello? It's so obvious. But okay. You couldn't have helped it. That's what the glamour does to you. Okay, maybe it was? I guess maybe it's not just, like, the glamour is not just physical appearance, but also just your perception of them, so maybe that affects it? I don't know. Maybe if I wasn't cursed. If I had more of my magic, I would have been able to sense him. Who's claiming the throne? Or the crown, or whatever. As of right now, no one. The king's been kicked off the throne, and Mythos has made a public announcement about usurping the throne, but he does not call himself king. Is he trying to win the throne over for someone? Myth has no one left. He was obsessed with our teacher. Who was he obsessed with? I guess the previous queen, which was our mother, so therefore, the teacher was our mother. Mother teach Mythos and also teach Waltz, I guess. Interesting. I guess that's how Waltz is connected to us. He was obsessed with our teacher, but she is gone. Maybe he has different alliances now? Her face eyes look distant as she stares dismally down at the ground. If my curse were broken, I would charge in right now and destroy him. Walter's expression becomes so dark it sends a shiver through me, but it sounds kind of funny when it's coming from a little kid. I don't know. It isn't like Walter looks so angry. We need to come up with a plan. Even if you weren't cursed, you would still not be able to defeat Mythos when he has other witches with him. Witches are trickier to handle. Can't just be plunged with a sword, eh? I agree with Karma. If all of us go in with swords and shields, we should be able to take the palace back. This is what we've been practicing for. Practicing? Well, even the witches will die if you stick a sword through their heart, won't they? But getting to a witch who knows you there, or who knows you're there, is difficult. I must do something. I want to help, or is there anything I can do to help? Okay, I mean, either way is the same thing, I feel like. But I guess, let's be more assertive. I want to help, go! Chevalier wraps his fingers around my wrist and frowns. Princess. This whole time I've been living at the Martian, I was spared the fate of the royal family by sheer coincidence because I was cursed. I cannot just sit here and do nothing while the kingdom falls to a witch. I fell to witches before, and there were dire consequences. I cannot continue to be passive. I will not let myself be like mother. Princess, I am Lucette Riella Breton, the crown princess of Angeal. I will not stand by and watch when the kingdom is in turmoil. The room goes quiet at my statements. Chiedo's fingers loosen in my hands, and I can see a ghost of a smile on his face, though it underlies his sorrow. Spoken like a true princess. Whether or not you want to help, princess, you really can't. You won't be able to use magic until your 18th birthday. That's when you become the bearer. I cannot let that stop me. I will find a way. Conversations in the room continue for a long while. At some point, it is said that the volunteers are needed at the hospitals and clinics for the injured soldiers. Chevalier immediately volunteers. Only afterward does he look at me with regret. Princess, I'm sorry. What? For putting my job before you, and after all I just said. He told me he was gonna try his best to change. Bria called him selfless before for putting his work before her, but you would be a fool not to. My life is not in any danger, and there are people who need you more than I do. Do what you do best, Chevalier. Princess Lucette, I promise you, I will do whatever I can to help you as well. As the meeting disbands, I'm left standing there in quiet. Last to leave is Waltz, who promises me that he will make things right. I'm going to trust everyone, but I'm also not going to stand idle. I will make things right, somehow. And what are we going to do? We can't really do any sword fighting, you know? We're not at the palace right now, so we can't really just go in, like barge in, so what are we going to do? I don't know. As is my responsibility as a crown princess. How about we just take the throne? I don't know. Hey, chapter 9, getting close to the end. Another long night. The two of us are on our way back to the Martian after visiting a clinic in town. We were there for hours, and it was a relief to be out in the open now, where I can feel the wind on my skin. Are you okay, Princess? I know that what you saw must have been difficult. I'm sorry I couldn't shoot you for the majority of it. I volunteered to help Chevalier at the clinic part-time, but it's worse than I expected. Okay, so this, okay, I guess we're just gonna be like, I don't know, like a doctor, basically. Many of soldiers have severe wounds. I thought that most of my injuries sustained by the knights during the upheaval were only minor. But I was wrong. Their injuries are much worse. Princess? He reaches out and laces his fingers through mine, and then gives me a soft smile as he squeezes my hand. Are you okay? I'm fine. Only been 1 day since the uprising at the palace. I had thought there would be less blood, but was wrong. This is what things were like after the Great War. I wasn't a fully certified doctor after the Great War, but I was an assistant. I guess well, at least Lucette isn't really a doctor. I guess yeah, we're like him. We're like an assistant. I guess I wonder, we get a happy ending, I guess the princess might turn, into a doctor as well. Well, it was far worse than this princess. I guess during the Great War and everything. We cannot have a repeat of the Great War. I do not know why Mithros would kill Sir Alcaster and take the throne without claiming the crown, but the witches already have a bad name and he's making it worse. I cannot help but remember the wide smiles Mithros gave me when I was still living in the palace. Every time I felt his eyes on me, I felt there was something strange about him. There was always a cloudiness to his eyes, something unreadable. He was excellent at his job, but always an enigma outside of it. A sudden breeze chills my skin. Well, let's go back before you freeze out here. The two of us begin our walk back to the Martian. Thoughts of the palace, the king, and my step-family cloud my mind. Since I've been staying in the Martian, I've not seen Rod once. I was never sure it was because he was ignoring me, or if it was because he only wanted to speak to Parfait. Regardless, I hope Rod and his family are okay. In the other timelines, we are more, at least obviously in the Rod route, we definitely hung out with the royal family. In the Cloud route, we definitely, make up, I guess is the word, and everything. We get along, at least at the very end, but this time we just never see them, so I don't know. I would never wish this treatment upon anyone, not even to ones I hated. As we walk, I glance up at Chevalier, whose head is tilted skyward. I catch the glimmer of lights in his eyes and smile. Even for just a moment, I can forget about everything when I'm beside him. He has a way of taking the weight off my shoulders. But as the crown princess, I cannot let others carry my burden for me. I must find ways to protect the others, even if it means putting myself in danger or harming someone in order to protect someone else. What do you think is the easiest and fastest way to kill someone? Just a weird question out of nowhere. Hey, by the way, how what's the best way to kill someone? Chevalier's body goes rigid beside me. He stops to stare at me wide-eyed. I am asking just in case I'm ever in danger. I've never fought anyone before. I can retaliate, but I do not know how to actually harm someone. Well, to kill someone is to end a life. It is stealing away a life that others might love. Especially since he's a doctor. What do you call it? The Hippocratic Oath or something? You can't just... Especially for a doctor, you can't really just kill someone. The whole point is to save someone, not kill them. You bear the burden of that death for the rest of your life. I pull myself away from him. But Mithros is not an innocent man. Would you rather he kill the royal family instead? It is, again, a little bit like Miyashiro, Would you sacrifice the many to save the one, or would you kill the one to save the many? Miyashiro? No. No, it's not that, princess. I know he must be stopped at any cost. It's just... I would never want you to have to kill someone. How would you know what it was like to kill someone? You have only ever helped people, not hurt them. You saw the soldiers in the clinic today. You saw how close some of them were to death. Did you see the hollow look in their eyes? I have seen that look many times. It is the look of a man who clings desperately to life. Every life is precious. And a life is still a life. Whether it's vile or not, it's still a responsibility you have to bear. I know how valuable and fragile lives are because I've helped so many people. We stand quiet for a few moments, facing each other. I know I'm at odds with Chevalier. He speaks the truth, but I also know that I speak my own version of the truth too. The world is a place where only the strong survive. People are kind but take advantage of you. Bria told me that Chevalier was so selfless that he became selfish. She told me that he never had anything because he gave everything to others. His kindness has hurt others, and I feel that has a likely chance to hurt him as well. I guess that's sort of like a parallel for him. He's always flirting with everyone. He's a playboy. I guess the writer, made his personality that way in order to emphasize the part where he's always giving everything, to others, and how, like, despite being all happy and doing the right thing, it can still hurt others if you're not careful, right? You're not balancing what's right or wrong, not prioritizing what's truly, important to you and everything. Anyway. What if his reluctance to hurt anyone causes him to be the one that is injured? Chevalier suddenly breaks the silence. Most people think that the easiest way to kill someone is to stab them through the heart. Those people will be wrong. He puts his hand over his heart and stares dismally down the ground. He removes his hand briefly, but only to reach for mine. He takes my hand and settles it on his chest, slightly to the left. I can hear the beating of his heart beneath my palm. It is soft and gentle. What can you feel besides the beating of my heart? The ribs? Yes. In order to stab the heart, you have to just get through the ribs. That's why most of the soldiers in there got stabbed in the chest were still alive. If you want to quickly kill someone, you have to stab somewhere where it will be difficult to stem the blood from a wound. Do you have any idea where it might be? The abdomen or the neck? I mean, either way, it would work, I guess. But I guess the neck is kind of harder to, to aim for, or something. I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't have experience in this, but like, I guess if you guys kill someone, you stab the stomach, maybe the abdomen, around there, maybe. I don't know. There's no. I mean, I'm touching my stomach right now. It is pretty fleshy. So just stab there. There are many organs in the abdomen, right? And there are no ribs blocking the way. A good guess, or that was Lucette. There are many organs in the abdomen, there's no ribs blocking the way. A good guess, but his eyebrows furrow. A person can still survive that kind of wound. You're actually likely to die faster if they stab you through the liver or some other major vein or artery. Still, what you're suggesting will allow people to live for a long while without treatment. Most would probably die from either infection or blood loss. The place you actually want to stab or slice is part of the neck. Okay. I mean, yeah, it makes sense, but still, my argument still stands. I feel like it's still kind of hard to aim for the neck. Well, let's do that. I don't know. I guess let's actually pick the right decision this time. I mean, usually I don't do this, but like before we get an end. But I feel like we're gonna get the good ending anyway, so I want to make sure that we get a good ending, at least at chapter 10, so we can just like rewind and get the bad ending first before we completely get the good ending or whatever. If that makes any sense. That's just in there. The skin on the neck is thinner. You have lots of blood flow underneath the skin, going right to your head. It would most likely be easier to slice or pierce something more vulnerable in the neck without running into much resistance. Chevalier raises an eyebrow. Well, did you happen to pick that up around the clinic? No, I simply guessed. Then you have a bright mind, princess. Okay. The right thing. Chevalier moves my hand to the side of his neck. My fingers curl slightly when I feel his heartbeat reverberate beneath my fingers. The part is where you can find the jugular vein and the carotid artery. He rolls my fingers down the length of it, and I shudder. A mischievous smile brightens his face. Not only does cutting at the neck stop blood from going to the head, but it also makes it spurt. If both the vein and artery are cut, it only takes a minute to bleed to death. Thus, one of the best ways to kill a person would be through the neck. Why are you telling me all this now? I was just enlightening a new pupil with an anatomy lesson. He asked me a question, I responded as a teacher. Chevalier's fingers loosened on my hand, and I grasped his hand tighter in response. Princess, I don't want you to have to bear the burden of a murder. I promise that I'll protect you, so you don't have to defend yourself with violence. I can't use a sword or magic, and I don't know how to fight, but I will always be there to protect you. Ironically, his name, Chevalier. I think it means like knight, right? It means knight or warrior or some sort. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm mixing it up with because there's another character in Fate Go called Chevalier d'On. D'On, Chevalier d'On, who's like a knight, a French knight. I may not have the abundance of muscles between these sleeves, but I am a doctor. No one knows the body better than I. Although I may not be as heroic, I know how to hurt a person. Okay. His sincere expression, though pain, tells me that he's telling me the truth. I do not want Chevalier to hurt a person either. It would destroy everything he has worked toward as a doctor. He has seen so much suffering, yet always seems untouched by it. I will do anything I can to protect his positivity. Alright. I wonder again, it totally turned out that he was like a serial killer, he knows how to kill someone, the neck, I don't know. Maybe not though, maybe he's just a doctor, It just feels like, I don't know, maybe he could be something else, he could be something much more sinister, but maybe not. Maybe not.